Hi again. Previously, I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Chapter 2, and this time I'm gonna read its production log entry 2. So let's begin. What happened next in the Andy Bell case is quite confusing to glean from the newspaper reports. There are gaps I will have to fill with guesswork and rumors until the picture becomes clearer from any later interviews. Hopefully, Ravi and Naomi, who was one of Sal's best friends, can assist with this. Using what Angela said, presumably after taking statements from the Bell family and thoroughly searching their residence, the police asked for details of Andy's friends. From some seriously historical Facebook stalking, it looks like Andy's best friends were two girls called Chloe Birch and Emma Hutton. Here's my evidence. Emma Hutton, Sal Singh, and 97 others. View 6 more comments. Emma Hutton. Oh my god, Andy. You're literally incred. So beaut. Chloe Birch. FFS. I wish I didn't have to be in pics with you. Give me your face. Andy Bell. No thanks. Emma Hutton. Andy, can we take a nice one of the three of us at the next calamity? Need new profile. This post is from 2 weeks before Andy disappeared. It looks like neither Chloe nor Emma live in Little Kilton anymore. Maybe private message them and see if they'll do a phone interview. Chloe and Emma did a lot on that first weekend, 21st and 22nd, to help spread the Thames Valley Police's Twitter campaign. #FindAndy. I don't think it's too big of a leap to assume that the police contacted Chloe and Emma either on the Friday night or on Saturday morning. What they said to the police, I don't know. Hopefully, I can find out. We do know that police spoke to Andy's boyfriend at the time. His name was Sal Singh, and he was attending his final year at Kilton Grammar alongside Andy. At some point on the Saturday, the police contacted Sal. D.I. Richard Hawkins confirmed that officers had questioned Sal Singh on Saturday, 21st April. They questioned him as to his whereabouts for the previous night, particularly the period of time in which it is believed Andy went missing. That night, Sal had been hanging out at his friend Max Hastings' house. He was with his 4 best friends, Naomi Ward, Jake Lawrence, Millie Simpson, and Max. Again, I need to check this with Naomi next week, but I think Sal told the police that he left Max's house at around 12:15 a.m. He walked home and his father, Mohan Singh, confirmed that Sal returned home at approximately 12:50 a.m. Note, the distance between Max's house, Tudor Lane, and Sal's, Grove Place, takes about 30 minutes to walk, says Google. The police confirmed Sal's alibi with his 4 friends over the weekend. Missing posters went up, house to house. Inquiry started on Sunday. On the Monday, 100 volunteers helped the police carry out searches in the local woodland. I've seen the news footage, a whole ant line of people in the woods, calling her name. Later in the day, forensic teams were spotted going into the Bell's residence. And on the Tuesday, everything changed. I think chronologically is the best way to consider the events of that day and those that followed, even though we, as a town, learned the details out of order and jumbled. Mid-morning, Naomi Ward, Max Hastings, Jake Lawrence, and Millie Simpson contacted the police from school and confessed to providing false information. They said that Sal had asked them to lie and that he actually left Max's house at around 10:30 p.m. on the night Andy disappeared. I don't know for sure what the correct police procedure would have been, but I'm guessing that at that point, Sal became the number 1 suspect. But they couldn't find him. Sal wasn't at school, and he wasn't at home. He wasn't answering his phone. It later transpired, however, that Sal had sent a text to his father that morning, though he was ignoring all other calls. The press would refer to this as a confession text. That Tuesday evening, one of the police teams searching for Andy found a body in the woods. It was Sal. He had killed himself. The press never reported the method by which Sal committed suicide, but by the power of high school rumor, I know, as did every other student at Kilton at the time. Sal walked into the woods near his home, took a load of sleeping pills, and placed a plastic bag over his head, secured by an elastic band around his neck. He suffocated while unconscious. At the police press conference later that night, no mention of Sal was made. The police only revealed that bit of information about CCTV imaging placing Andy as driving away from her home at 10:40 p.m. On the Wednesday, Andy's car was found parked on a small residential road, Romer Close. It wasn't until the following Monday that a police spokeswoman revealed the following. I have an update on the Andy Bell investigation. As a result of recent intelligence and forensic information, we have strong reason to suspect that a young man named Salil Singh, aged 18, was involved in Andy's abduction and murder. The evidence would have been sufficient to arrest and charge the suspect had he not died before proceedings could be initiated. Police are not looking for anyone else in relation to Andy's disappearance at this time, but our search for Andy will continue unabated. Our thoughts go out to the Bell family and our deepest sympathies for the devastation this update has caused them. Their sufficient evidence was as follows. They found Andy's mobile phone on Sal's body. Forensic tests found traces of Andy's blood under the fingernails of his right, middle, and index fingers. Andy's blood was also discovered in the boot of her abandoned car. Sal's fingerprints were found around the dashboard and steering wheel alongside prints from Andy and the rest of the Bell family. The evidence, they said, would have been enough to charge Sal, and police would have hoped to secure a conviction in court. But Sal was dead, so there was no trial and no guilty conviction. No defense either. In the following weeks, there were more searches of the woodland areas in and around Little Kilton. Searches using cadaver dogs, police divers in the River Kilbourne, but Andy's body was never found. The Andy Bell missing persons case was administratively closed in the middle of June 2012. A case may be administratively closed only if the supporting documentation contains sufficient evidence to charge had the offender not died before the investigation could be completed. The case may be reopened whenever new evidence or leads develop. After the cinema in 15 minutes, another superhero film that Josh has emotionally blackmailed us to see. But there's just one final part to the background of the Andy Bell / Sal Singh case, and I'm on a roll. 18 months after Andy Bell's case was administratively closed, the police filed a report to the local coroner. In cases like this, it is up to the coroner to decide whether further investigation into the death is required, based on their belief that the person is likely to be dead and that sufficient time has elapsed. The coroner will then apply to the Secretary of State for Justice under the Coroners Act 1988, Section 15, for an inquest with no body. Where there is no body, an inquest will rely mostly on evidence provided by the police, and whether the senior officers of the investigation believe the missing person is dead. An inquest is a legal inquiry into the medical cause and circumstances of death. It cannot blame individuals for the death or establish criminal liability on the part of any named individual. At the end of the inquest, January 2014, the coroner returned a verdict of unlawful killing and Andy Bell's death certificate was issued. An unlawful killing verdict literally means the person was killed by an unlawful act by someone, or more specifically, death by murder, manslaughter, infanticide, or death by dangerous driving. This is where everything ends. Andy Bell has been legally declared dead, despite her dead body never having been found. Given the circumstances, we can presume that the unlawful killing verdict refers to murder. After Andy's inquest, a statement from the Crown Prosecution Service said, "The case against Cyril Singh would have been based on circumstantial and forensic evidence. It is not for the CPS, short for Crown Prosecution Service, to state whether Cyril Singh killed Andy Bell or not. That would have been a jury's job to decide." So even though there has never been a trial, even though no head juror has ever stood up, sweaty palmed and adrenaline pumped, and declared, "We, the jury, find the defendant guilty," even though Cell never had the chance to defend himself, he is guilty. Not in the legal sense, but in all the other ways that truly matter. When you ask people in town what happened to Andy Bell, they'll tell you without hesitation, "She was murdered by Cyril Singh." No allegedly, no might have, no probably, no most likely. He did it, they say. Cyril Singh killed Andy. But I'm just not so sure. Next log. Possibly look at what the prosecution's case against Cell might have looked like if it went to court. Then start packing away and putting holes in it.